Hey friends, welcome back to Master Raven. Literally Independence Day, right? No, no, never. 1947, if you say Happy Independence Day, there you can say it for sure because we all struggled. We all means our ancestors struggled for it to get it on from the British. Literally, it was a planned way to get, in order to have a freedom, in order to develop, and freedom is all about. Literally, many things has happened. British has brought a lot of things, many monuments, many bridges, many buildings, government things, and a lot of stuffs. And literally, British has given us many things, French has come, Portuguese has come, it was a 400 plus long years of battle. And literally, our era, from 93, or what do you say, the past era, 1990, 1980, 1970, these era contributed a lot, 1970, 1980. But after that, literally, the day began, and our country have started seeing the real face. And after that, if you say Independence Day, it's not Independence Day because in our country we don't have that real freedom to system. People don't have the guts to question the leaders. Question, you would be jailed, you would be punished, your family would be targeted. Literally, there is no unity across state. If there is a problem in a state, there won't be any other state people standing for them. If there is any rape or if there is any cruelty in our country, no one cares about it. Literally, when there is a weak law in our country, no one questions that law. People just have the fear of getting arrested and losing the life, that is losing the career, just like that. And in career, employment opportunity everywhere. The problem is on year after year. People just with fear go and work just like that to get a salary, and with the system making them to do all the CMI loan in order to make them as a slave. Literally everywhere, no matter private or public or wherever it is, people who work, you have the pressure that you can never escape. And another side, people just get resigned, or people just get thrown off from the job because of technology update. AI is on, what all things, literally educated ones are struggling to get a job. Literally, even if you get a job, it is just slaves. You don't have that mindset to have a happy job. It's all about stress, stress, stress. That's it. Your family and people, without knowing the population and the country situation, people just marry and have a kid, and that kid would struggle in this country. Literally everywhere this is cooked. And no matter any state, there is no peace. And the basic things, the food, the oil, everything from gas to basic necessary, everything is charged up. The real price, if people must question, because the real price is like, it would be less. But because of the system's cruelty, they need to get money from us. They just get loan from the World Bank for giving the freebies, and we people just stay silent and get that freebies without any shame, and let the nation suffer. One side education is down, education is so weak, and no one is ready to question the system because people are just behind fame, a fame which is a fame which would be there for a few minutes. That's it. And people are just not questioning the system. And education is one of the most important needed thing for a country to develop. But our country can never be developed because of people's mistake. Education system, because in education, if you're outdated, then what you can imagine, when other countries are going on top, especially technology is being pushed out in other countries. No matter what, you have dark secret society to push out the technology like AI, AGI, in order to control us. The dark future is that they would control us. And this is the harsh reality that poor people and middle class people would suffer for sure. And because of weak system and weak law, no one can question. Another side, you have all these sportsmen and actors promoting the ads non-stop across state across languages. They just come on and on through all social media, TV channels, YouTube, everywhere they come just to fool you and take out your money just like that. No shame. Literally, we all are fooled by showing the sports and entertainment stuff. Literally every day, every year, day by day, the superstars and what do you say, the influencers are targeting the innocent people of this country. And another side, you have fake advertisements and fake narratives set. And with all this drama serials, people just stay in home and just enjoy this nightmare. And they just support it silently without any question, and they just follow the same pattern what they see in all this media. And that's another dark reality. And you have the news channels to do the dirty stuff again. They won't say any real news. They won't talk for the people's problem. They would be the toy of the corporates and the ruling government, and they would kill you and they would cheat you just like that each and every day, every minute, 24 hours, no matter any channel. Literally one after another, there is problem on and on and on. And if you question, you would be jailed and you would be tried to erase your career just like that. That is the way this nation is all about. And you have health issues. They're just targeting people to reduce the population. And in order to do that, hospital sector, you have the bombarded thing is happening. Our trust hospital year after, everything is notorious and secret. And you have insurance to poke you. Literally one by one, everyone is targeting people, and innocent people are being targeted.
And judiciary system of our country, the biggest joke, the law book, everything IPC or whatever name change they have brought to the country. What for? Literally how much ever lawyers they are just recruiting, how much ever court you have. What for? People are just suffering a lot. There is no proper judgment, and if you go for a case, your life would be threatened because you need to spend a lot, and your case won't be over just like that because this is a system. Because this is a system which is so outdated. And another side, you have politician who is ruling a country without any education qualification. They just need to erase our nation just like that. Just imagine for getting a job, how much they just dig us, they just hurt us. The system is just poking people. They just ask reason. People are just collapse. Every generation are collapse because of the system. Because politicians, you need to be punished if you do a mistake. But the law of our country just release them just like that. They are giving all the freedom. Just imagine how many brutal happenings, how many murders are happening, how many rapes are happening. And you have the IAS, IPS, collectors and all this educated stuff people. They have got all the salary, the power, but they need to salute the politician. Just imagine the condition of the country. When you need to question a system, they just obey the chief politician and hurt people. And what for? Just UPSC exams and all these exams are happening when a corrupted system is happening in this world, in this nation. Literally the world has been corrupted. That is not a mistake. But in a nation, literally the corruption is at peak. People are just writing exams on and on. For what? How many business things are happening? How much money is being spent for each and every individual? There are persons who are so innocent that they just think that they can come and just enter this any sector and get a fame and do all this service, etc. But deep down, no matter any sector you go in, the corruption would make you be a corrupted person. That's the condition of this country. First cleaning is required, only then exams. But people don't understand that. And what for this Independence Day? Literally people don't have that sense. People don't have that mindset to change, and people just cry or just suicide. That's the condition of this new generation. They're just coming out with little. They don't have the unity across state. Then what for this protest? People have the systematic way to do it, but people don't do it because all these are political agenda to fool people. And that's what is happening in our country. And say again, happy Independence Day. This is the harsh reality. No matter even if my life goes, I don't care, but this is the darkest reality which I wish to share, because people are not realizing the life, because people are not realizing the thing that unless until there is a unity, that to educated people, if you're not doing it, no one can bring any change to this country. And another side, for getting a job, how much pain, even if you get a job, there is no guarantee at all. Then what for the life is all about? And people don't have the sense about the and people don't have sense about the population in our country. The resources being doomed just like that. When you can't question a system, what for you would have a child, and then that child would get suffer. People must think about it. And you have another side, people just enjoy their life just like that, as if the country is being so lethargic. People just celebrate all this marriage life just like that. They don't have any maturity. At last divorce is on. Nowadays divorce is the biggest business. Literally, nowadays, all this fraud, online or offline, everywhere the scammers on, because even the apps, even the dating apps, even the games, even the online games, all these things are being allowed by the system. Just imagine the country's situation. That system is allowing all these things to make people suffer. Another side, you have food is products which have been used by women and kids. All these things are, if you check really, you would understand you are in danger. The chemical being used, targeted to make us hurt. That's what the real condition of this country. If you dig deeper and deeper, the things would make you to never stay alive. Only few would stay alive. That's the condition of this country. And the most saddest thing is that the children and the students who are just celebrating Independence Day without knowing the dark reality, they're just being framed with all this blind stuff. They are not knowing the dark future of their country. Day after day after day after day, they are also gonna struggle, and they are just enjoying the moments of all this march parades and all this flag hoisting, ladus, and all this dance programs and skits and all this stuff. Kiddos and all this children. Literally, people must educate kids the reality of this country. Only then they can question. Only then they can bring changes, because this generation has failed. My generation has failed. This new generation has also failed. So at least the future generation must step out, or else the darkest future is getting ready for them. I might die, any moment, because of questioning and because of saying all these things. Definitely, some health issue would attack me, or whatever happens. I don't care. But this is a dark reality. Kids must understand. Nowadays kids are so smart. Literally, they can understand everything easily. So it's with them. But in order to make them go in a right direction, right teachers must be there. But we have the failed teachers who are not pushing them on right direction, but they are just giving them the outdated things to make them to follow. Literally, they're just following the pattern of the ruling politicians, what they give orders, or else they would lose their job. Just imagine, the cruelty begins from the school, college, and literally the government exams, and all the place you where the control, all the place where the control is on, slavery is on. This is the harsh reality, that kids or the students won't learn the basic things which a person must learn in their life. But literally, they are just carving out the slaves and just say that happy Independence Day. Don't teachers have any shame about all these kids just like that? Question yourself. So all those drastic situation, in order to bring change, you have solution. But in order to bring that solution, you need to have that guts. First, you need to start from military, bureaucrats, IAS, IPS, collectors. All these are the main pillars. Literally, if they have wished, if they had that real guts to step against the dirty politician and the dirty corporates, long back this country would have been saved. But in order to do that, you need to have that real unity among yourself. Instead if you just fear the system and just obey the orders of the politician, never stay in this position and just waste the generation, because the new generation are watching all your powers, how you do it, and they're just dreaming a life like you all, like seeing your uniform. Literally, they don't know the reality, the pain, the pressure you're facing. because you're just facing the pressure because you're obeying just like that. If you have the unity among yourself, all these department, long back you can be saving this nation and have that patriotic feel and say Jai Hind and say Happy Independence Day. The day you all change the system, the day you all change, people would step out. Here in our country, when a protest is happening, we are seeing the exact opposite side, who is hurting the people, hurting the protested student. It is all about the police side, military, and all these people are just ready to attack us by listening the politician order. Just imagine the condition of this country when you can't question it out. The persons who are, the person who need to step out with us, they're just supporting the politician, the dirty politician. Wake up, this is the darkest reality, and yeah, only then we can bring a change. And in our country, crimes are rising at peak. The main reason, weak law, especially in relationship. Just imagine the cheating, the extramarital affair. How people just do it, and literally there are planned murders across all those genders. Literally, if you don't wish a happy married life, just divorce it and have a life. But people just plan it out and kill the partner just like that. Even if you have kid, they just even kill the kids just like that. Just imagine the human capacity, just imagine the level of mindset of all these people, because of the system, because of the weak law. The cruelty is at peak. No matter what, the crime is at peak. Unimaginable crime is happening in our country because of the weak judiciary law, and no one can be saved. And said there is always problem for women, but right now men's are into trouble also, because nowadays it's not about men or women, it's all about human. And when there is weak law, no one can be saved. So, as long a perfect spine generation is not formed out, or the parents are not coming out, we can never say Happy Independence Day, because we, the nation, has been failed miserably, literally for food, for just basic food. People just die out just like that, because there is no job across our country. Because of situation, people just do the dirty job. Your health gets spoiled. There is no humanity. People just go to religious places. There is a big scam happening in our country, that with the religious stuff, they are just controlling and hurting each other, and without unity, there's no freedom at all. And for questioning, your life is threatened just like that. Literally day by day, every second of their life, every second of many people life, it's like when life would end, when that death would come. That is the feeling this nation has given to many people across our country. And still people say Happy Independence Day without shame. Don't you have any shame? This is the real painful condition, because when you can't help each other, when you can't think about the dark reality of our country, and just go and vote without any shame. Because when a vote system is so corrupted, how can people just go and vote and elect a person who is not gonna carry you, who is not gonna care about your future? Because our future has been in the control of dark devilish corporates and devilish politician, and people are still silent. And that's making the life of all the dreamers who just wish the reality of success to fail. Because one thing people must understand, all this fame like awards and all this, whatever awards you get, whatever fame you get, it is just for a system to organize. Just that's it. No matter any awards, you can see what you say, all the awards related to academic, or your school or colleges, or in your office place, or whatever awards like national award or state award or international award, whatever it is. All these things are in order to make you fool, because each year people just participate, and in that way system is ruling each and every one of us across world. All these awards are just time being thing to fool us, because once you get all these rewards and all this stuff, people would say that, oh, you got that award, oh, you're great, just that's it. But it would be for a few days. And if you notice, all these powerful awards like national awards and all these awards in a country, all these guys, they'll never talk against the government, because this is the reality. People who accept all this thing. you won't be able to reveal certain things when we see the dark reality. That's the condition. So people must step out, people must do things without having a feel that you need to get an award or reward. Now in this present era or the past era, it's all about the money. Money is the biggest tool which is making all of us suffer, because that is a system, that is a way they have planned to make us all suffer. So if we all find a solution to tackle it out together, definitely we can say happy Independence Day. Or else we can never say happy Independence Day, because a poor is suffering, a middle class is struggling, a rich is enjoying. And how can you say freedom?
And new 2K kids or the new generation of the youth, they don't care about it. See CJP, something called CJP, they just got fooled. Literally, what they are doing is a biggest mistake. Instead of being united and standing together without any party, people are just focusing on CJP and all this blind stuff. Yeah, people are dying out without any hope. People are just wishing death because of the waste opposition and the useless ruling party. And still, people say Happy Independence Day. What for? Just see the mirror, see yourself, and think yourself because of adjustment and accepting. And behind this country's downfall, people work so hard. There are people who never care about all these things. People just people just survive for their food, shelter. And there are people who just travel abroad because of the situation of this country. Not everyone can escape, but suddenly people are targeted just like that because of the weakness. That money is something which they target, and people are just behind it. And because of that, how many life is lost, how many life is stuck. And people just say Happy Independence Day. And another side, you have patriotic feel of all this army, navy, bureaucrats, and all this people. They all have the salary, they all have the power. They don't have the guts to question this politician 30 corporates. And they just say Happy Independence Day. So whenever you say Happy Independence Day, just realize that you are in a dilemma of dark devilish future, which is gonna be so terrific, because all the and this thing would repeat on and on, and people would forget because all this festival and all this religious stuff. They just made all these things to fool you, and there are a lot of plans to fool you again with all this weakness, and people are just gonna suffer for sure. So we as a citizen, we need to think about all these things, discuss about all these things. Literally, we need to unite and question the system, or else dark devilish technological future is getting ready to control us, and we would be in their hands. And there you can never say Independence Day, there you can say only the crucial days are ready for us. So think about it. And yeah, this is all about the real Independence Day, which has never happened. And if you say Independence Day, we need to get that freedom for sure. And that freedom, if we get that day, we can say that Happy Independence Day. In order to get that, we need to unite. In order to get united, we need to have that heart. In order to have that heart, you need to have the humanity. If you have the humanity, definitely we all would be together and question the system and bring a change in the system and bring a peace in a system and make all the people across state to be happy. So till that day, there is no Independence Day. Take care, think about it. Jai Hind.